Hey guys, it's Alpha, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create items in MCreator. So to get started, we will open up MCreator, and we're going to create a new workspace. So this is going to be our mod that we're going to be using throughout this series. So I'm going to go ahead and call it tutorial mod, like so, and we're going to leave the namespace, version, package name, all that sort of stuff how it is just recommended, and I'm going to press create new workspace. We're going to reclose this, and we're just going to let the application create the project, which shouldn't take too long depending on how powerful your computer is. There we go, so mine's all created. So now we've got our empty workspace with nothing in it. I'm just going to press full screen, and then if we go to the big plus in the top left, we can add an item to our mod. So we're going to go for item just here. This is in alphabetical order, so just find I, and item is just down here in the bottom left. So I'm going to press that, and it wants us to enter the name of the item we're making. So in my mod, I'm going to be making tin, and that is, you know, the metal resource. So I'm going to make an ore for it, ingots, tools, armor, all that sort of stuff. So we're going to start off by making the items of the mod for today. So I'm going to start off with raw tin. Just like how when you mine an iron ore, you get raw iron, this will be the item that you get when you mine tin ore. So I'm going to create item, and then item texture. I've already created a texture that I can use. If you guys want all of the assets that I have created for my mod, you can join this channel as a member. It's just the file access club, which is only 99 pence a month. And that gives you full access to every file and asset that I'm using in this series. And you can download it all, and you don't need to be a member anymore after that. But for as long as you are a member, you have access to download all the files as you see fit. Alternatively, you can join as an exclusive access member, which means you get early access to all these videos. You get members only videos, which are only accessible via that membership level. You still get file access. You then also get priority reply to comments in case you have any issues or questions. I will reply to you very quickly. And you also get shout outs in the videos. So anyway, I'm going to import the texture that I have created. So here we are. I've created raw tin, tin ingot, and tin nugget. These are the three items we're going to make today. So we're starting off with raw tin. So I'll select that one and select it as well. So that's the icon that raw tin will have. And there's some other options in here. So item model. If it's a tool or a ranged item, then you can select those, but this is just a normal item, so we're going to stay with that. Alternative item texture. So for example, doors have an alternative texture to what they actually are when they're placed down, but our item doesn't need that, so we're just going to leave that unticked. And has item got a glowing effect? So you can choose that if you want it to glow, but our item doesn't need to glow, and there's no special information we need to add about this item, but if you want to add that, you can select here and add it in. Next, we're going to go to item states. Nothing here that we need to do for this item. It's not a very special item, and we're not going to cover this today. It's too advanced for getting started. Animations is the same deal. There's no animations we need to add to this item. Properties is where we're going to start changing stuff. So we've got in-game name. This is the item name. So raw tin is what we want it to be called. So that's just perfect. And then rarity is the color of the text. So certain items do have other colors, but this is just a common item, so I'm just going to leave it as common. And creative inventory tabs. So this is when you're in creative and you go into the creative item menu, which tab is it going to come under? So here you got all the options. So raw tin, I imagine, is going to become under ingredients because that's where iron ingots are. So it's probably a similar item to that. Max stack size, we're going to leave at 64. Enchantability, we don't need to enchant this item, so I'm going to leave it at 0. Destroy speed, just leave it at 1 because it's not a special item that destroys blocks quicker than other items. Attack damage doesn't do any damage, it's, you know, it's raw tin. Item use count, we don't need to do anything with this either because it's not a tool or special item, it's just ore. Immune to fire, so this is, for example, you know, like netherite, if you throw it into fire, it doesn't burn. If you want it to have that sort of property, you can check that. A piglin currency, like how you can use gold to trade with piglins, you can check that if you want to. It can destroy any block. You know, if you were making like a multi-tool that can destroy anything, you'd choose that, but this item does not. And does item stay in crafting grid when crafted? So when you're making something that requires a bucket of water, for example, and it uses up the water but keeps the bucket, that's that sort of thing. So if you wanted this to be used in something but doesn't get used up, then that is what you'd do to enable that. Damage item when crafting. So when you craft with the item, does it get damaged? But you know, we don't need that either. Recipe remainder, we don't need that either. And no animations, we don't need any of that because it's just ore. So then we're going to go food properties. Still nothing here. We're not eating the raw tin, so we're not adding anything there. Advanced properties, there's, you know, some other certain things if we wanted it to do other things, but we don't. So we're just leaving that. And same with triggers. We don't want anything to happen that's particularly special with this item. So then we're going to press save mod element, and we've got our raw tin just there. And we're going to do the same thing for tin ingots and tin nuggets. So I'm going to press new item, and this time we're going to do tin ingot, like so. And then obviously if you do capitals, it does a space and an underscore just there, which is how it should be in registry names, tin underscore ingot, like that. But then on here, it will be tin ingot with capitals. So once again, I'm going to import the texture I've created. There you go, and it's all the same sort of deal as before. We don't really need to change any of this stuff because it's just a basic item, nothing special about it. And then we're going to do the same thing for tin nuggets as well. Like so. There we are. And yeah, once again, nothing special about this item. So then we're going to press save mod element. So now we've got our 3 items, and they've all got their custom textures. And now we can go ahead and press the play button in the top right to build the mod and run it in the Minecraft modded client. So here we are, the modded client is running, so I'm just going to put that to full screen. And now we can create a test world. We want it to be in creative, and then create new world. So here we are. Obviously what we're going to do is we're going to check our inventory, and we're going to go to the ingredients tab, where we should see raw tin at the bottom. Yep, perfect. There's our raw tin. As you can see, just a standard item, just like raw iron, for example, or raw copper. You know, it's got a different texture, different color, and just like raw iron and raw copper, it comes under ingredients, as you can see. And obviously we don't have the other items that we made in this tab because I didn't add it in MCreator. If we want to change that, we can close back down the mod client, go back to our workspace, and then on tin ingot we can edit this. Go to properties, creative inventory tabs, ingredients, use, and then save. And then the same with the tin nugget. Like so. And then if we build and run now, and then go to our test world. Now if we go in here and go to the ingredients tab and scroll down, we will see tin ingots and tin nuggets as well. So there you go. There's our 3 modded items. Here you can see the comparison between iron and tin. Tin is slightly more blue and iron is a lot more silvery. Anyway guys, that is it for today's video. We've now learned how to create items, and in the next video we're going to learn how to create blocks. I hope this has been a good introduction to MCreator, and I do definitely encourage you to experiment around and create your own mods within it. But as always, if you are following along creating this, you can access the files that I've used, all the textures that I've created for this, by joining the channel as a member. Just the first level gives you file access, but the second level gives you extra permissions as well. And of course, if you are following along making a mod and you want to have a server to run your mod on, you can always go to this video just here, where you can learn how to make your own server that will run your mods. But anyway guys, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.